Brunswick Planning Board for October 17, 2024. Everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our agenda this evening, as it was posted on the town website and the town board, is as follows. Number 1, riser waiver of subdivision and minor subdivision. Applicant seeks a lot line adjustment and a minor subdivision to create 4 new lots on property located off Pennyroyal Lane and Plant Lane. There's a public hearing to commence at 7 p.m. Henry Reiser is the applicant. Number 2, CBE North America, waiver of subdivision, site plan, and special use permit. Applicant seeks to subdivide a 99.51 acre parcel to create 2 new lots of 24.96 acres and 74.55 acres and construct 2 community solar facilities on property located at 511 McChesney Avenue Extension. CBE North America Incorporated is the applicant. Number 3, Paramount Building Group, major subdivision. Applicant seeks a major subdivision on approximately 33-acre parcel of land, as well as construct a new road with a cul-de-sac and a waterline extension on property located on the northeast corner of Spring Avenue Extension and Crick Road. Paramount Building Group of New York is the applicant, and we will also be reviewing new applications received following the meeting of October 3rd, 2024. So the first thing on our agenda is the public hearing. This is a public hearing for the riser waiver subdivision and minor subdivision. Take a moment to review our procedure for the public hearing. The purpose of the public hearing is to hear concerns, comments, and views from the general public regarding a particular proposal or application. All public hearings are electronically recorded and a written record of the proceedings is generated. In most cases, this written record is included in the minutes of the planning board regular meeting, which is usually conducted immediately after the public hearing. The applicant will be required to respond to all concerns and comments made at the public hearing, and subsequently, the planning board will consider all concerns and comments when evaluating the application to ensure that the applicant has addressed all the issues in question. Public hearing will be conducted as follows. The notice of public hearing will be read by the planning board attorney. Next, the applicant will give a brief presentation of the proposal and will provide any updates on the application. Upon completion of the applicant's remarks, the chairman of the planning board will recognize persons from the public, and these individuals will be allowed to speak and offer their concerns, comments, and views. Since the proceedings of the public hearing are electronically recorded, it is requested that all speakers step forward and use the microphone at the podium, and all speakers will give their name and address for the record. Our planning board attorney, Andy Gilchrist, is not here tonight, so I will read the notice of public hearing. Okay, notice of public hearing. This is in reference to the riser / Pennyroyal Lane and Plant Lane waiver subdivision and minor subdivision applications in the notice of publication of public hearing. This is written in Andy's language. So as counsel of the board of the Brunswick Planning Board, the town of, start over. As counsel of the town of Brunswick Planning Board, I am closing a notice of public hearing with respect to the applications for a waiver of subdivision and minor subdivision of Henry Reiser property located off Pennyroyal Lane and Plant Lane, in connection with the creation of 4 new lots. The public hearing will will allow comment on this application, and the public hearing will commence on Thursday, October 17, 2024, at 7 p.m. at the Brunswick Town Hall, 336 Town Office Road, Brunswick, New York. And this was posted on the, I believe, the Troy Record, is that right? And the town,
Eastwick Press, I believe.
and the Eastwood,
Yeah, I
I
don't think
thought it
we
was the Troy
published.
Record, okay? Okay. And residents within a 300 feet radius have been notified of this public hearing. Okay. That being read, I'll have the applicant come up and give a brief presentation. Please address your comments to the public. Absolutely.
Could you grab the microphone?
Yeah, you have to grab the microphone, Henry.
Yes. You hear me? Okay, so what we have a approximately 300 acre parcel located on Route 351 in Plant Lane. And previously, back in April, we did a waiver subdivision, which created the lot 12, which is an 8-acre lot in the center, and the driveway coming out to 351, and then the remaining lands of approximately 284 acres were left. Now, what we're looking to do is add 4 building lots, and lot number 1 is using the existing driveway that used to be for the house. So the driveway's already in. Lot 1 is about 3.5 acres, and that'll be there. And the second lot, which is lot number 2, is a 17-acre lot, and that fronts on 351. The driveway is minimally 60 feet wide throughout up to the lot. And lot number 3 is an 11-acre lot, which also has a driveway frontage of minimal 60 feet, which is coming out on Plant Lane. And then there's the remainder of the land, which is 284 acres. Also with this application, we're doing a lot line adjustment, which lot 1 from a previous subdivision was a 5-acre lot, and I'm purchasing approximately 1.5 acres from it to add frontage to be able to make this work. So we have that application in at the same time. So also, now the remaining land will have 2 accesses. It's going to have a 60-foot driveway going up through, and then also it has frontage on 351 here and continues around to the rest. It's our intention to put all this remaining lands on one deed, and then obviously we'll have separate deeds for the 3 lots. And the other thing we're doing is we wanted to use a shared driveway or a private road agreement. This way, we're not having to construct these driveways. It's a lot less invasive. You know, it's an existing roadway that's in there now, and so we have easements that are going to be in with the lots 3, remaining lands, lot 12 and lot 2, that will all use this driveway and have an agreement, a maintenance agreement to take care of that, and just makes it less expensive. You know, it's a long private road, so there's a lot to take care of it. So by sharing the expense with the other people that are gonna be on the lots, makes it more affordable, and again, rather than having all the separate driveways, you know, the spots are there for the driveways if somebody chooses to put a separate driveway in, but at this time, we think that we're gonna be using one roadway. I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I will open up the floor to anyone who wishes to come up and make any comments. Do you have any questions?
If you could hang there for a second, I just couldn't see where you were pointing out. Charlie Meyer, 53 Penny Royal Lane. You're coming off 351, nothing off Penny Royal?
Correct. Yep, everything is coming up at 351 and Plant Lane. You have the one lot 3 on Plant Lane, and then the remainder of the property comes down 351. Then the existing roadway that's there now, that goes up to the house, and that's what we're gonna use as a shared driveway. Alongside that is the roadway, or the driveway for lot 2, and then the lot line adjustments right here, so it's not.
All right, I turned around. Where is Penny Royal?
So Penny Royal Lane is right here.
Yeah,
There's 4 existing lots
yeah.
from a subdivision prior back in.
Yeah, no, my only concern is that and it may have nothing to do with what you're doing,
Yeah.
but there's a culvert being installed and stream there.
Yeah.
If that's gonna be an entrance, that's gonna be problematic because of the condition of the road, for one.
Right.
The curve, somebody's gonna get murdered by a FedEx truck. But the existing, with your stuff. Okay, no, I was just curious. That's all I have.
That's all to do with these lots here.
So that's a completely separate project?
Yep.
All right. Good luck with it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else wish to come up and have any comments, concerns? Anybody has any more questions on this? All right, one more time. Does anybody wish to come up, make any comments, have any questions on it, suggestions, or anything like that? Okay, then I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Second, before we vote, is there anyone that wishes to make any extension on this for any reason? 7-day extension for any written comments or anything? Okay. Then I will have any further discussion on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the public hearing is now closed, but stay up there because you're first on the agenda. Okay. Okay. Before we get into the formal agenda, we have one bit of house business to take care of, and that is the review of our minutes of our last meeting on October 3rd. Has everybody had a chance to review those, and is there any comments, amendments, corrections to those? Okay, hearing none, I will make a motion to approve the minutes as they were submitted. Second. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Okay, Henry, you're up to bat. We had the public hearing. And there was one, well, there was basically one question from the gentleman that got there. I don't think there was anything that would change the conditions or any issues with the plan itself. Under normal circumstances, we require that the applicant submit a written response to all the comments made at the public hearing. However, consult with the board. I don't think there's any need for any written response in this case, and I'd like to waiver that. So we will waiver that on this particular application. So moving forward, do I need a motion for that? I guess officially, Andy, would I need a motion to do that? Well, I know your father would probably say something, so.
I'll make the motion.
It's a motion to waiver the written requirement of comments by the applicant. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, now it's official. Now we can move forward. Okay. Was there any questions on the application from any of the board members? I mean, we've gone through this one quite a bit, extensively. I know there was a few changes made and so forth and so on. We would have to have a secret determination, and then the resolution to approve it would have several conditions that probably I would discuss and refer to Wayne on. So if you want, we can move forward with a secret determination.
We have two actions here, right? We have a waiver and we have a minor subdivision. So, we typically do a secret determination on waivers.
You don't, yeah, I think we do. We normally do.
I don't know if that's a separate determination for each action.
Should we wait until we have legal counsel here before we move on this?
Well, we discussed it, Andy discussed it, and he said we could move forward, but he just had a few conditions that had to be made. I can read those conditions or.
The secret
Well, I would
first.
recommend you just do a secret determination for each action.
Okay,
So if you do the waiver, then you do the minor.
I'll make a motion for seeker, negative declaration for seeker for the waiver of subdivision.
okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You want to make the second one, please?
So, a negative declaration for seeker for the minor subdivision for risers.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now on the approval of this, it would be approval for both.
You'd have to do approval for the waiver and then the minor subdivision.
Okay,
Whatever action you order.
well, I mean, let's discuss that a little bit. There were several conditions that Attorney Gilchrist discussed with you and me. I think we
I don't
should,
think there's any conditions on the waiver. Basically, it's a lot line adjustment.
okay? All right. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the waiver.
I'll make a motion to approve the waiver.
In a second. Is there any further discussion on the waiver? All those in favor? Any opposed? Now, on the minor subdivision, there were some conditions. Would you like to review those, Wayne? Probably have a
Some of the things that Andy and I talked about, one was proof that there was a shared road agreement executed for that shared roadway. The other was, we talked about the fact that it's a non-realty subdivision and that Brunswick County Health Department is not involved until each lot is ready to be built, so they would have to have approved septic prior to issuance of the building permit for each lot.
I have that the remaining parcels be merged.
Yeah, well, the plat needs to be approved before the lots are merged, but we can make it a condition that on approval that those lots be merged and filed.
Yep, we also have the note on the plan that states that.
Okay?
We can make that a condition, even though it's on the plan.
Okay.
You're gonna need a new set of plans then?
No, it's on, there's a note on the plan for the merged lots. We did that last time.
Does the board have any other conditions that they would like to see on this?
I have some in my notes. Revised to take off the note regarding something. Sorry,
Can't remember what it was.
no.
Originally, there was some,
I didn't-
Oh, about the
finding about
easements.
the easements,
Yes.
so we took that off, because
That's
kind
exactly
of
it.
hard to understand it, we just gonna put that information in the deeds,
Right.
Okay.
more than
And
the easements.
that the private road maintenance agreement should provide cross easements within the agreement.
Andy, have you gotten all that?
Those last two, you said? What was it again?
One was to verify that the revised easement note was removed from the map, and it has been. And the second one was that the private road maintenance agreement should include the cross easements as part of the agreement.
Your first comment doesn't have to be a condition. It's
No.
already-
No, just clear.
So just to review, there's three conditions. There's the water and septic, the health department comment condition.
Right, for issuance of the building.
Right. There's the signed and recorded private road agreement,
Correct.
and the note which is on there that I had was the merging of the parcels. That shouldn't have to be a condition, but we'll make it.
We can say, yeah, as no.
Is there any other conditions that anybody wish to make at this point?
I mean, you'll need driveway permits before.
Right.
You want to put that in there?
We can. We'll put the driveway permits in required. I don't think we have to.
Driveway permit prior to construction in the house, or
Usually they are.
that's when we typically get them,
Yeah.
or we get the building permit for the house.
Yeah, I don't have any other conditions. I will entertain a motion to approve this. This is for approving the minor subdivision, right?
Correct.
Well, oh,
Just the minor.
minor,
I'll make the motion with the stipulated conditions.
okay? Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I guess, we need our drawings back. Before we get them stamped,
Yeah, yep.
Alright.
Is that,
I'm gonna keep mine.
is that finished or what?
okay. I mean, we can give them back to you if you need them.
Those lots, is that?
I have several copies. I have several copies here which may show an earlier thing, so
Yeah.
File.
why don't,
They're gonna stay.
If you want 'em, we
They
can
got them
collect
in the
them,
right plan.
I'm not guaranteeing they're gonna be that one.
Are those plans the right plans with all the changes and the cross easements are off and the map notes on them?
You know, to avoid any confusion, I would suggest that maybe you supply the building department with.
And I think that's a slide in my law, don't I? You can't.
Probably, yes.
There's a Rodney will prepare whatever we need, you know, give it to you as a packet.
Okay, sounds good. All right, you're all set.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. All right. Okay, next on our agenda is CVE North America. How you doing tonight? Good. Now, just before you start, I just want to make a note that today is a 30-day notification, the end of notification for the lead agency.
Okay.
And I don't believe we received anything back. However,
No,
we cannot do anything until tomorrow because technically we could receive something today.
Okay.
So Andy told me to pass that along, so we can't do any declaration of lead agency at this point. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
We did apply the drawing of the additional subdivision. I'm gonna ask if I can email them. My computer is not connected to my hotspot, and I did ask if I can connect to the Wi-Fi. I have too many firewalls to do that here, so I just would prefer to, it's just a short 30-second video of the additional.
Okay.
Could you just move that microphone? Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Now, Wayne was going to be reviewing the SWIP and the visual analysis data. And he had something to report on that.
Yeah, I got comments back from my staff on both the stormwater and the VIA. I just haven't had time to assemble it all into a comment letter. I should have something new next week on that. We can go over some of this, I guess, if you want. You haven't made any changes to the plans of the VIA since the last submission.
Correct.
I think the biggest comment on the VIA was that we would like to see the visual simulations actually showing the solar panels in your photographs.
Yes, they're on there. I don't think they're clear enough to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's
You look just clear.
That's part of the, New York Code subsection 11.
Yeah, they were not as
If
clear.
you're there, they're tough to see. Another comment was whether or not any correspondence has gone to the State Historic Preservation Office.
Yes,
It has.
yes,
Have you gotten anything back from them?
no. But I believe, I would like to run that again because I believe it was done back in 2022 when we first proposed the project. So we will run that again.
Okay. You'll need that both for the visual and for stormwater.
Okay. I will check with Bruce if they have done that already. I haven't seen a copy, but I will double check.
Okay. As far as viewpoints, they did bring up the fact that there should be an assessment visual simulation in the Garfield School because of the historic nature of that building, and whether or not there's any visual impact or any proposed mitigation from Garfield School.
It's a long way off.
That's not that far. Right at the end of the moon line.
That's how you're talking about the Garfield School on, oh, you're talking about the old school, I'm talking about,
No, no, the old school,
okay,
Route 2 and Moon Line Road.
move on, okay. I'm thinking,
Because that's close enough.
the George Washington School. That's
Oh,
what-
no.
I'm sorry, okay.
So somebody can look into that. I think that were the major comments on the visual. Well, one more. Please clarify the proposed tree clearing versus the proposed mean tree line in Drive SK 102. I guess I'm just looking for clarification on the proposed tree clearing versus some mitigation, new tree plants. I'll put all this in there. That's all. I'm just kind of doing an overview here, just to give you kind of a heads up and maybe a head start. I haven't had a chance to go over all of the stormwater comments. Water, so I'll put these over to you early next week.
I have a quick question for you, Wayne. There are times when we visit sites, would it be beneficial for us to actually visit the site and be on there?
It never hurts to go look at it, sure.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is you don't own the property, I mean, you have to go through the owner, is that correct? Do you think he would be opposed to members of the planning board and the town, or the planning board engineer visiting the site?
I don't think so, I can ask.
Okay. You could, ask him that and get back to Wayne on that. I'm not saying we're going to, but,
You can actually probably get a good idea of the visual of the standing.
stand right in the middle.
Standing up in the middle of it and looking, because you can see out, then you can see back, right?
That's pretty much it, yeah. Is anybody on the board interested in visiting the site? Okay. So when we get that information, I'll pass it along. Yeah. Okay, is there any other questions for the applicant from our board? Okay, I guess we're all set for this evening. Do you think you want to be on our next meeting agenda?
Yes.
Okay. And that would be November, here we go. It's the first one down there, let me see. Seven? Yes, okay, it'll be November 7th. Let me put you on the agenda for there.
I'm also scheduled for Monday with the zoning board, should I keep that?
Yes,
Keep that?
that's for the,
It's for the National Great Falls.
that's right, okay. Yes,
Is that the only variance you need?
the measures are set back. I would prove it. Okay. Wayne, do you have any more questions?
Not.
Okay, I guess we're all set.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
have a
much.
nice evening. Okay. Last on our agenda is the Paramount Building Group. Mr. Bond, come on up.
Sure.
Good evening, everybody. Matt Bonner, Park Engineering, here presenting for Paramount Utility Group, proposed Colton Ridge subdivision.
At our last meeting, Matt, there was a question on the number of houses on the cul-de-sac and so forth and so on. The building department had an opportunity to weigh in on that, and we got a text saying, let's see, where is it? And this was from Mike. He said that as requested at the October 3rd, 2024 Planning Board meeting, the Town of Brunswick Building Department has determined that the cul-de-sac proposed by Hart Engineering for the Colton Ridge subdivision as presented will serve 17 residents. Did you get, you were notified of that?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so, lost my packet still. So with that in mind, we are going to have to make a recommendation to the town board to waiver the zoning code that limits the number of house residents on a, what they call a dead-end street, from 12 to 17, additional 5. Do we have a couple questions on that? We were talking about this, and Andy recommended, one of the recommendations include that this would be based on the number of lots and the proposed driveways for this subdivision as you're presenting. And that any changes to that would have to come before the board for additional review. So that would be one of the conditions that we have. And basically, we're trying to figure out possibly if any of these lots that you have, these larger lots, could be subdivided by the owner. Create a 18th or 19th, whatever. I know some of the lots are large, and I'm not sure whether they would be able to accommodate a second residence, but that's just to prevent that.
Sure, I mean, would the board like something noted on there that the lots aren't to be further subdivided? I'm not sure. I'm just thinking, because I'm saying, just to clarify, any changes to the plan. So that mean if, say this property line were to be moved 10 feet to the east, would that be significant enough change to have to come back, you think? Or?
I think, I'm not sure I can speak for Andy on this, but I think he was basically implying that there'll be any further subdivisions of any of the lots to create additional houses.
That, I think the concern is that you get approved for 17 driveways on that cul-de-sac road. And then you go ahead and you put your access for those other 2 lots back onto Spring Ave, and then you still have approval for 17 lots. They're just trying to avoid,
Okay.
like you, not
Okay.
you, but
Sure.
the development from adding lots because they're moving those other 2 driveways back to Spring Ave. So you could have 2 more lots, you would approve for 2 more lots.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So it's really just, our recommendation would be to have 17 access points on that cul-de-sac road based on that current layout.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
spelled out?
Yeah, that would be one of the, part of the recommendation to the board.
Okay.
The town board.
Okay. All right, thank you for clarifying that.
think that after we approved it, if you came in and wanted to move a lot line 10 feet, you gotta come back in with
Well, after approval, yeah.
after we approve it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right, just because we'll go to the town board, then at the next meeting, or this board chooses to make the recommendation. So if we're presenting to the town board and they give us, that waiver, in the meantime, as we're finalizing the plans, I'm only asking that if we felt the need to, for grading or some reason of that nature, to move the property line slightly. But we certainly wouldn't be adding a lot. That would, the number of access points, that would have it all stays.
Well, I think it would have to be reviewed by the planning board, but the mere fact that it would probably be done before we approve the subdivision.
Right.
You know, if you were to make some,
Absolutely.
you know, lot line adjustments through the process of there, you know, I think it would be reviewed, but I don't think it's a problem.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you thought about running a through road, come off of Crick and on the Spring Ave and do away with the cul-de-sac?
We did, yeah. So part of the push, we've got the DEC pushing us to minimize road lengths and to the maximum extent practical to try to cluster homes on a shorter road. Then when we met with the Department of Public Works as well as a couple of the departments here, that's more road to maintain. Ultimately, this is turned over to the town, so there's more costs to the town along the road. And the third point being, I think the line of sight in this area could potentially be challenging, which is one of the reasons why we also like to have these driveways connected to the cul-de-sac. But that was actually originally, we looked at the loop to start.
That long driveway, how long is that?
I believe that, or I remember here, because the whole way to it, 450 feet.
So a football field is 300 feet. So you're pushing 2 football fields to one.
It's a standard measurement that building department uses. It's not what we fill it.
I don't know how long a basketball court
It's
is.
something to visualize though.
It's
So I do
7
appreciate
hockey rinks.
7 hockey rings.
it.
Are you recommending a wider driveway for that, for those 2 lots? That shared driveway?
Yeah, the driveway that would meet, that driveway would meet the fire code requirements for length of that nature with turnouts. Absolutely.
Well, anything over 150 feet,
150, yeah.
you know, 150 feet has to be 16 with 2-foot shoulders.
Yeah, 16, and unless it's approved by the fire
Yeah.
code official, so.
Okay. What is the actual cul-de-sac road? Is that to town standards?
Well, yes. It was the standards that were determined by, meeting with the highway department.
Okay.
And, correct.
Have you considered looping the water main back to the main on Spring?
So the water main actually, ends, let me see. I'm just making sure I say this properly. I think Brunswick's water main ends here. There's a vault here, and it becomes, which are actually 2 mains. So there's one for Bosenkill, and there's another one, I think, for North Greenwich on this side of the road. So Brunswick's actually ends here. So to loop it, it would be looping into a different town's water main at that point. So we would be extending, that's actually the end of the line for Brunswick. We'd be extending Brunswick's. Because we did ask the question too about looping it, but it's another town's main.
I know Bill Bradley is kind of insisting on looping. What has he said about the water? Have you met with him yet?
So we did meet and we discussed the proposed layout. He did not request looping at that time, but we can absolutely clarify that point.
There's no line that goes up Spring Avenue.
Spring,
or
Creek.
Creek Road.
Right, right. Yeah, so this is, our proposed extension up through here, because the end of the line is actually a hydrant here. There's supposed to be a stub, T with a cap on it. We'd be proposing to connect to that and extend, installing additional hydrants, and then make the turn into, Colton Ridge here.
Okay. All right.
How wide did you agree with to make that town road? Here?
They decided upon 11-foot paved lanes, 2-foot shoulders, if I remember correctly, because the town plows are 14 feet wide. That allows them to do the road in one pass in, one pass out.
So 26 feet.
Total? Correct, and the shoulder.
Is this an Eagle Mills? Or is this Mountain View? Which fire is it?
Someone might know.
I don't know off the top of my head. I can do that. Sure.
I mean, a set of plans, they're gonna have to redo that. Make sure.
Yes, so the cul-de-sac itself has all the radius to allow an emergency vehicle to make the turn.
Okay.
Hey, Russ, just one thing. Before you said it was part of the zoning law for the 12 lots. It's actually part of the town subdivision code, not part of the zoning law. Just
Stand corrected. Thank you. Does anybody have any issues with allowing 17 residents?
I would say that normally I would have an objection to that, except that the information provided for this specific site, there is the potential for at least 4 of the lots to have access onto another road, but it's likely safer for them to access the cul-de-sac. And so for that reason, I'm not opposed. It'll be 13 lots if those 4 lots chose to have driveways off of Spring or Creek. And so adding one additional lot, I'm not opposed to.
Anyone else have any comments? These would all be in our recommendation to the town board.
I think the fact that it's being served by water makes it a safer environment for that subdivision as well.
Okay. You have provisions for hydrants and so forth and so on up through that. Correct.
Yes, sir.
There are line of sight issues for those 4 lots that they decided to go out to the new road.
So 2 lots are these 2 here, which have, it's a good line of sight in that area. These are the only 2 lots that would potentially have line of sight issues.
So I think that would go back to the argument that I think Linda was making about allowing those 2 lots to be designed to go into the cul-de-sac creates a safer. I mean, of course, the owner of those purchaser of that lots could want to go on there, but then he's going to have to deal with getting a highway permit, driveway permit, and so forth and so on.
Yeah, have you shown this to county highway yet?
No.
They're gonna need to review it because they got
Yep.
access on the creek.
Yes.
Should that go before it goes to the town board or concurrently?
I don't know.
No, it's-
Yeah, are you guys gonna build the houses or?
the goal is for the owner to build the subdivision.
So you build it, people buy the lot, you build the house for them.
Yes, yeah. So they get the road in and then sell individual lots and build their dream home.
Is that can be added? Looks like, somebody.
Don't say, you mean individual lots that they can't subdivide their lots?
Right, but can we, could it also be a condition that those two lots can have a driving lot? Is that possible?
I don't know, I'd have to check on that, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know whether you can condition that, I mean, if he's got frontage on a highway.
I mean, we can make a recommendation to the town board about what we talked about, the current lot layout is to be maintained in that 17. Lot.
Yeah, that's why in the beginning of conversations, you know, Andy was very insistent that the lots and the proposed driveways, as they are on the plans, would constitute the 17. Any changes to the driveways or the lots would have to come before the board again. So I think that should cover it.
I'm not sure it could subdivide one of those further.
Yeah, with requirements and the minimum square footage.
Yeah, density requirements.
Right.
You have, on a lot of the ones that go up Quick Road, those longer ones, that's all wetlands and stuff, isn't it?
Yep, this is a wetland area right here.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So
Yeah.
it's not buildable anyway.
Right, and there's not sufficient width, so most of those are wider than the minimum width requirement. There's not sufficient width there to split those off into it on the lot, and have.
Not even a lollipop, you know, just a driveway up the side.
No,
Okay.
no. Because of the setback from the wetland. This lot, for example, is 68,000 square feet, and the minimum is 40,000 square feet. So there's not enough square footage on that lot to subdivide it.
Plus you gotta put a septic system in on each of those, so.
Okay, what Andy's gonna do is, he's gonna prepare a draft on this recommendation. Put in some of these things that we talked about, obviously. And we'll be able to review that at our next meeting. When is the next town board meeting?
After our next meeting,
It's after our next meeting?
Second.
So hopefully
it's the
that recommendation will be
14th.
passed along to the town so they can possibly handle it at their next meeting.
Okay. Great, so we'll be working on the draft.
Yeah.
See the draft before the next meeting with any luck, and then,
We will, yeah, he's gonna prepare the draft. The board will review it and then discuss it at the meeting and make any changes, get a final, draft letter, final letter of recommendation to the board. So that all can be done by our November 7th meeting,
okay, fantastic.
all right?
Matt, you do a long form, secret form for this?
I will check. I know we did use the short, I will.
Typically for a major subdivision, you need a long form.
I believe we did, but, if we didn't.
Okay, so we're adjourned to our next meeting. Do you have any other questions for us at this point?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay,
Thank you for the board's time.
all right,
Appreciate
take
it.
care, have a nice night.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our agenda. We have several items under new business, the applications that we received. Are these the two, Mike, that Wendy discussed with me today?
Yeah.
Okay.
here for
Okay, we're
redemption.
gonna take them by order of receipt here, I think. First one we received was an application for a waiver of subdivision for Jeffrey and Sydney Sullivan. Are they here? They don't have to be, I was just curious whether they were. And this is, the drawing prepared by Brian. Sure. Our responsibility tonight is just to review it. If we have any obvious questions, we can get them back to the applicant, but then schedule them for our next available meeting for review, formal review. Okay, they're dividing off two lots here. The proposed lot area is 5.69 acres. And then the remaining parcel, which belongs to Tammy and Richard Otis, is 6.79. And the owners are listed as Richard and Tammy Otis. And this is on. Okay. It looks like a fairly straightforward waiver. A single lot is being created. They have a proposed house on there with the, within the setbacks, the side setbacks, with a proposed driveway.
It's all existing, isn't
Is that the existing driveway?
it? Yeah. Oh, I see, the long driveway.
Yeah.
That's proposed. It does say on the application that there was a lot line adjustment done in March of 2023.
Yes. And we had some discussion about that.
This is-
When we do a lot line adjustment, if it's the lot line adjustments are handled as a waiver through the waiver application. And the question was it within 7 years on the second waiver? And then we got into the technicality of whether it's actually created, the first waiver actually created a building lot or a non-realty lot. And if it's strictly a lot line adjustment, it does not create an adequate building lot, this is actually technically a waiver. So we have to address that issue. I think we have handled some of these lot line adjustments before. The person then came in with a waiver that created a building lot. And we did, just move forward with the waiver and not require them to do a minor subdivision. I'll ask the board if they want to comment on that. Kevin, do you remember, I think we did a couple like this, didn't we?
Yeah, we've done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everybody comfortable with treating this as a waiver? All right,
As with Andy's guidance.
with Andy's guidance?
Yeah, because I'm not sure. He got, it seems like things changed, so waivers, lot line adjustment is a waiver. And I don't know, I guess I'd like to hear Andy's interpretation of what we're doing.
All right,
This isn't here yet, so, but that's,
yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, we can put it on the agenda for next meeting, and Andy will be here, and we
Can
can,
you have the building department pull that lot line adjustment, and show us where that was?
Was that done through the county?
It can be,
I don't ever remember seeing it, so I don't know.
well, here's
but there's
the
so much going on up there on Baldwin Road over the years.
way I understand it. They got this lot line adjustment through the county and circumvented us. But this is the actual map now. It's filed with the, with Brunswick County, right?
Yep.
So, is it water over the dam, or what? You know what I mean? I don't know how they got it through, but they did.
Can we tell where that lot line adjustment was made?
Well, that's the other thing. We never got any.
Did she give you a smaller copy of the old map?
No.
Or just a new one?
We don't have, but we did receive a letter that this is being submitted with the agreement of Richard and Tammy Otis. So we get that. There's nothing here. I got just a.
Yeah, she got like a smaller copy.
Can we request that? Would the county
Yeah.
have that on record?
I'm sure we can find it, yeah.
I think that would be something to have before our meeting. We could do that. So we'll put that on our agenda for our next meeting.
Ryan, everything.
I have it written down in my notes. Charlene Holberg, 12 acre lot. April 20th, 23.
Did they have that before us?
I have it written in my old notes. A historian of stuff, I don't know. I can't remember things right. That's all it says. So, what, need a life?
I got the impression from talking to Wendy today that she says that somehow this didn't go through the plan. She had no record of it going through the plan.
I mean, it's in the map references. Map reference number 5.
Yeah.
Well, they can go back to the minutes with what Linda's got.
Yeah, it was April 23.
April 23.
23rd of April and the 23rd.
We can go back in the minutes a second.
4/20.
Or 2023.
Well, we'll figure the whole thing out by the next meeting. All right? So we'll put them on our agenda for our next meeting. This is the Sullivan waiver subdivision. Does anybody have any more questions on that? You want to move along? Moving along. Okay. Second item we got is an application for waiver of subdivision. The applicant is actually National Grid. And this is to do what, Mike?
They have a representative here if you want to.
Oh, okay. That's you off the hook here, huh?
Hello, Chairman. My name is Allison Phillips. I'm an attorney with law firm Young Summer, representing National Grid on this application for subdivision waiver. It's for a simple lot line adjustment. I do have a map. If you don't mind if I throw it up real quick, I can show you exactly the piece that we're looking at here.
Okay.
So the lot line adjustment would be to allow the conveyance of this 0.577 acre piece of the Ware parcel to be combined with National Grid's existing utility corridor. The Ware parcel is actually currently bisected by the utility corridor. So the land on the western side and on the eastern side is all part of one tax parcel. So with this lot line adjustment, we'd be able to acquire this 0.577 acre piece, the western portion of the Ware parcel, combine it with the existing utility corridor, and then the eastern portion would be retained by Ware.
That's all the land they own on that side?
Yes, the entire parcel, I think, is 6.3 acres, and after the lot line adjustment, it's about 5.7 remaining with
But
Ware.
it's all the land on that side of National Grid?
Yes, you can see here, this is the eastern portion of the Ware parcel. This is the existing National Grid utility corridor, and so we'd be acquiring this additional piece right here.
What is this, are they going to use that property or is it just,
No, it's going to be added to the existing utility corridor. There's no planned improvements or infrastructure being installed in that portion that we're acquiring.
okay.
The landowner was willing to
Put
convey.
a few solar panels in there,
Why not?
What do you need this?
Yeah. I think they just wanted to clean it up.
It's something where you kind of have a unique situation here where their tax parcel is currently bisected by the corridor. They were interested in selling it. National Grid was interested in purchasing it. So it makes sense to acquire, add it to the existing corridor, and then Ware can retain the eastern portion of the tax parcel.
And this Stephen Spacek doesn't gain access.
So the Wares here?
No, this lands of Stasek, there'd be no access through here for anyone. It's just going to become part of the existing utility corridor.
Does National Grid define their boundary? Do they, I don't see any iron pins on here or anything.
We do have the existing corridor line surveyed. The land through the corridor is acquired over time through different conveyances, and those deed references are all in the legal descriptions that are attached to the application.
I'm just wondering for adjacent landowners, how would they know?
In general, you can see there's the area that's, road where the existing electric transmission and then gas transmission is. There is existing vegetation you can see here on the corridor. I believe there are survey markers out there. I don't know how visible they are because this area is, heavily grown in. They don't keep that clear because it's far enough away from the existing utility infrastructure. You can see there are some notations on the map, found, tap, tiny pin.
Yeah, I just, sometimes they would include that along where they want their new.
Sure.
Okay.
So the application is for the subdivision waiver to allow the lot line adjustment without going through the minor subdivision process. We aren't creating any new lots. It's really, kind of just to address what is kind of a quirky existing thing where the existing corridor bisects the Ware parcel.
Okay. It seems to be fairly straightforward. Obviously, we just got this tonight, so it's an opportunity to review it a little bit closer. The EAF and so forth and so on. And does anybody have any questions for National Grid at this point? We can put you on the agenda for our next meeting, then you'll be officially on the agenda.
That would be great.
Okay. I don't see anything. Wayne, do you see anything
Yep,
that jumps out at you here?
nothing jumps out.
Okay. I think we're all set, and we will put you on the agenda for the November 7th.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Well, before you go, it was pointed out to me just now that there's a residence that has their deck and pool on their property.
Yes.
And it looks like there's a shed also that further down that I think it has to be a 15-foot setback on that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's a 10 on the.
Not sure what it is over there, zoning wise.
I don't know if that doesn't pertain to this particular
I
lot line adjustment.
see the area that you're talking about.
So I don't know, I don't think it even concerns us.
I think National Grid is aware of it after, conducting the survey, and I believe, they are in touch with the property owner, will be in touch with the property owner. I don't really have any details about that, but, it is, not, I'm aware of parcel, so.
Yeah, I think the only reason I'm bringing it up is because in the past, we've had some situations where we had to approve a lot line adjustment on a drawing that showed an inconsistency. Yeah. I like inconsistency. It's not a little less formal. So I think I'd like to check with Andy Gilchrist on that.
And I can look into it, more on my side as well.
I don't, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a big factor, but just to kind of avoid a little bump in the.
You had to go say this straight and forward.
All right, so we'll look into that one.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Okay, now that's all the new business I had. Is there anything else, Mike, that I,
Not that I'm aware of, no.
okay? Yeah. Is there something here that you're for, or just observing this interesting meeting we're having? Okay. Is there any old business? Okay, hearing none, I'll just review the potential agenda at this point. This would be for November 11th, or November 7th. The CBE North America waiver subdivision site plan special use permit. Paramount Building Group major subdivision is coming back. And then we have the new two items that we reviewed tonight, Sullivan waiver of subdivision and the National Grid waiver of subdivision. So, for lot line adjustment, we'll do that. Does anybody know of anything else that I missed in previous meetings that are coming up here? I don't think so. Andy, do you have anything? Okay. I mean, the only other thing out there right now is Marie's Muse. I don't know where they are or what.
I've got no new information on that.
Okay. Okay. So with the agenda being reviewed, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
You are.